Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at NVDA, AMD, and Tesla on the daily, weekly, monthly time frames using technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. If you like the videos, go to my website, sign up, it's free, or punch down here in the right hand corner on YouTube and subscribe. So let's get right into the daily chart, 23 million on NVIDIA, and keep grinding, guys. We had a little bit of a pause day yesterday, coming up in these high pivots, or the 750 retrace, right around 161.09, and here we go again. Markets were complacent, 58 million on the SPY, a little bit up on the day. We were 84 up on the Dow, but just a slow grind, or a melt up, I should say, on no participation. So watch out for this. I think they're waiting for earnings coming up in the next couple of weeks before some volume comes in. If the earnings are okay, these stocks can keep floating up. So right now, bulls are in charge above the MAs, trying to make a run for the all-time high, which was 168.50. Let's see if we make that next week. And maybe 170, 175. Maybe it kind of stalls out in the earnings. We'll have to keep an eye on this one, see where this one goes. Weekly chart, Friday close. Great move up, guys. We closed above this little topping tail, what we're talking about right here. I'm going to pull this out, though, right now. So we talked about this little topping tail, came right back in and closed. So next week I want to see some good push through, a close above the all-time high, and this thing's starting to rip up. If it cannot get that, here I want to push this up a little bit more. If it can't get that, so I just want to see more follow-through. Weekly volume was a little bit better. Last week was the July 4th week, so it was a little bit light, but we got a nice push up. We still are above all the MAs like we talk about, bullish stance, but we do have a little bit of a topping tail here on the weekly. It needs to get above there and close, and once we close, it needs to get some follow through. So say if we close around 172, 173 next week on a weekly close, I want to see the following week close above that, and that could solidify a possible up move in these charts. Still pretty good bullish action on a weekly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks sideways, starting to go. But the only thing that makes me a little bit worried is the light volume action in the overall markets. I think we had 45 million on the SPY today, which was just non-participation, guys, and that worries me a little bit in these markets. All right, let's look at AMD. AMD, guys, had a nice little shakedown yesterday. Let's go to the daily. And we talked about it. Gap fill. Talked about the high pivot here. But look what happened. So we went up, and we talked right here on this day. Watch this. They're going to gap it up over the blue line and the gap fill and try to keep this thing going, get more bulls on. We're up to the higher range of the channel. We got a channel here, guys, going up, down, up, down, up, down. Great trading vehicle, guys. If you're a trader or a prop trader, boom, 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 you're in and out of this thing. But we're still holding the MAs, the 20, the 50, and the 200 still strong. So right now, though, we're down sideways, slightly bearish, but we're still above the MAs in a bullish stance. So let's see if this thing can continue up, possibly into earnings. We are back below the old gap fill in these old high pivot points. I'm surprised we didn't make it here, guys. It just ran out of steam, but we had a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 day up into this area, which last time it came back in. Let's see if we just start channeling closer into earnings. Maybe we just go down a little bit up and then we start going sideways, and then 50-50 shot if we go up or down on the earnings report. Let's get into the weekly chart. Weekly close today, which is Friday, just like NVIDIA, and just like all of them actually. But let's see if we did we close? Yeah, so we did close above this red bar again, so a little bit strong. But now look, we're down and sideways inside this bar now. So we're inside this bar, we got above. Now we got to get above this one here. So basically, though, going into earnings, this is going to make it or break it, guys. So right now, down, sideways, a little bit bearish. We're in this overhead resistance. That's why every time we go up, we're in this channel. Goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down. Again, great trading vehicle. If you bought this thing down here at 10, most likely you're selling up here at 14 bucks. If you didn't get it this time, you're doing it that time. So, we've been in those trades, guys, where you take it at 10. I'm going back to the daily just to show you a little bit better. So you take the trade down here. Pops up, you don't take the profit. Comes back in, you're like, oh man, what's going on? Comes back into the highs, you don't take the profit again. But the smart trader, the smart money's already gone from this side, gone from that side, pops up again, and you're like, oh man, it's got to go higher. Then you stay in, and you're like, oh, here it goes again. Last time it goes up, you're in this trade, you're like, you know what, I'm done. So I'm up in this overhead resistance, I'm taking the profit, and then it will probably go higher, by 3 or 4 bucks. You know how that usually works. But right now, guys, chopping around inside this bar on the daily too. Weeklies, okay, it did close above the red bar, the big one, like we said. That was important, and we did. Remember, we came right back in. Now we're retracing, but we have this inside bar that's inside this bar. So that is slightly bearish, so you got to keep an eye on that. But right now, earnings going to drive all these three stocks up or down, or maybe they just have non-events. Who knows? All right, let's go into Tesla. So Tesla daily chart, still down, still sideways. We ran into this gap fill, ran into the trend line coming from these lows, got rejected, but now it's slightly in a bullish manner, still below the MAs, still above the 200, which is slightly bullish. So we're kind of in a mid-range where this thing can go up or go down. I think we're going to chop, chop, chop. If we get some bad news in the markets, we'll go down. If the markets stay buoyant, this can keep grinding because it has buy the dip mentality. If you didn't buy the dip down here at 304, you're damn well trying to buy it at 330 going into earnings. So this might be a buy the rumor into earnings and then sell the news, but at this point, got a beat down. I'm looking for more sideways consolidation in the earnings. Will it go up? Maybe. Will it go down? I don't know. But we'll see, guys. It's 50-50, like I said, kind of like the casino, but you don't get drinks. So if this goes sideways into earnings, down in this lower range, we're going to watch for a pop into the 400 or a drop. You know, hard to say. You're going to have good support at the 200 MA. That's what I'm watching. But you have some gaps to fill down in here too. But ultimately, you have this low pivot right around 250, 242. So it's almost like 250 or 400. Which way is it going to go? We'll find out. I think it's August 2nd on Tesla. So again, though, a little bit weak, chopping around sideways, 20 MA curling down. So be careful with this one. If you're trying to buy the dip, just don't load the house. Just expect, if it comes back down, you can maybe buy more. But if we start breaking these low pivots, fill the gap down here, come in these gap fills, these gap windows, we're going to the 200 MA and possibly lower. So be careful with that one. Weekly Tesla, same thing. Caught the 20 MA. Great area for a bounce. Filled the gap. I thought we'd go at least to 300, maybe pierce it. Never did. Holding up. We did close above the 20, so we're back above all the moving averages on this one, but we're still below this big trend line. Did not close above it. So let's see again. Down. Big red bar too. Down sideways. If it consolidates in this lower range for the next couple weeks in the earnings, that is setting up for lower prices. Again, earnings 50-50 shot, could go up or down. So bulls, looking okay, kind of chopping around. Just tighten the stop. Don't get burned on earnings. If it pops on earnings, I would trail that stop, get out, let this thing pull back in the next couple of months with the markets, and then rebuy it. You'll get another buy the dip opportunity on all these stocks. But if you're in a trade from, say, down here at 180 and you're at 400 and you're not taking profits, you got to take profits, guys. So anyways, weekly chart closes. This one's not bad. Overall, everything isn't bad. Light volume continued on throughout the week. Everything held up. What else would you expect? All right, guys, again, if you like the video, sign up at my website. Come down here. Subscribe to YouTube. I really do appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully I'm helping some of you traders out there. Have a great weekend. God bless. See you on the charts.